Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov expressed that New Delhi is facing unjustified and significant pressure concerning its energy cooperation with Moscow. Lavrov characterized India as a major power that asserts its national interests and selects its partners. He criticized Ukraine's comments regarding the recent meeting between President Vladimir Putin and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Moscow as insulting. Lavrov stated, "India is a major power that defines its own national interests, determines its own national interests, and selects its own partners, and we know that India is facing significant pressure, completely unjustified pressure in the international arena." Lavrov addressed inquiries at the United Nations regarding PM Modi's recent trip to Moscow and the resistance India encountered due to its energy collaboration with Russia. Russia assumed the presidency of the UN Security Council for July, prompting Lavrov's presence in New York to oversee council sessions during Moscow's tenure. PM Modi embarked on his inaugural bilateral journey to Russia during his third term on July 8 to 9, at the invitation of President Vladimir Putin, for the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit. This marked Modi's initial visit to Russia since the onset of the Ukraine conflict. India has refrained from condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 and has consistently advocated for resolving the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky criticized PM Modi's visit to Moscow, posting on social media, formerly Twitter, a Russian missile struck the largest children's hospital in Ukraine, targeting young cancer patients. Many were buried under the rubble. It is a huge disappointment and a devastating blow to peace efforts to see the leader of the world's largest democracy hug the world's most bloody criminal in Moscow on such a day. India expressed its displeasure directly to Kyiv regarding Zelensky's remarks. Sources indicated that India's disappointment with the comments was conveyed to Ukraine's diplomatic mission in Delhi. Lavrov responded to Zelensky's remarks about Modi's visit to Russia, calling them very insulting, and noting that the Ukrainian ambassador was summoned in response. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs also spoke to the ambassador about his conduct, with Lavrov criticizing other Ukrainian diplomats' behavior as akin to hooligans. Lavrov emphasized his belief that India is handling the situation correctly. He mentioned that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had addressed questions, including inquiries about India's increased oil purchases from Russia. According to Lavrov, Jaishankar cited statistics showing that Western countries have similarly increased their imports of gas and oil from Russia, despite imposed restrictions. Lavrov criticized Western displeasure towards powers like China and India, attributing it to a lack of diplomatic finesse and a failure of political analysis. He argued that such behavior is inappropriate, particularly when directed towards these major Asian nations, describing it as beneath them. Regarding India's oil purchases from Russia, Jaishankar emphasized that his primary responsibility is to prioritize the interests of the Indian people. He explained, "It's not just about buying oil from one country. We procure oil from multiple sources, but it is a prudent policy to procure from where we obtain the most advantageous terms in the best interests of the Indian people, and that is precisely what we are striving to achieve."